Alright, welcome back to RPG Maker. In our last video I showed you how to do a very basic side quest, and so what we're going to do now is a couple other ones to show you basically all the different things that you can do. And so first and foremost, I'm just going to throw a person on here. Let's go actor 1, this guy. Show some text. Actor 1, this guy. He's going to say, "Can you and your friends help me?" And so I probably wouldn't have these all on one map, but for time's sake, I'm going to do that. And so you are going to say, "Sure." And then it's going to run the conditional. And it's not going to let you do this unless Therese is in the party. So other options though, maybe you want Therese to be this class, or probably the one that you would actually use is you want Therese to have this weapon or this armor or this state, but I'm just going to use in the party. The other thing you can do is maybe you want a side quest to happen, but only after a specific boss has appeared. So maybe once we beat Ernie down, then the side quest appears. Maybe we have one of our characters on a map facing this way. Vehicles, you can put them in the game maybe after the boat or whatever is driven. Maybe your character has to have equal to, or maybe $500 in gold. I just showed you how to do the item one with a torch. They're carrying a certain sword, or so the entire party carrying the sword is different than Therese carrying the sword. So for now we're just going to do Therese in the party. Okay, and I should have done else branch because I'm going to want that. And so if that doesn't happen, so if Therese is in the party, we'll get to that, but if not, he's going to say, "Go find your friends." Top preview. Perfect. Okay. And then it's going to end. But if Therese is in the party, it's going to say, "Go to," or let's say, "I dropped my sword somewhere. Please find it for me." So I came pretty close to that line, but let me show you how much room you actually have. They give you a little bit of bleed. And again, I'm going to give them choices, yes or no. When yes, I'm going to say, "You got it." I didn't preview it. When no, I'm going to say maybe next time. Okay. And then it's going to end. When we say yes and I say "you got it," we need a control switch. Let's do self switch. A will be on. New event page when self switch A is on. I'm going to go to my orange haired friend over here. I'm going to throw him back in there. Okay. Now I am going to do what we just did with a conditional branch. He's going to check and see if the item that we want him to have, which is a sword, create else branch, is in equipment. So if the party has it, this is what he's going to say. "You rock." And then do all the same things that you did last time, whatever you want to give him. Maybe change it. Maybe he gives you some armor or something. He gives you a shield. Okay. Change armor, shield, but then you need to change items to take whatever he has away. So you want to decrease so he actually takes the sword away. And then if you don't have it, he's going to say this. Hopefully we find it soon. Okay, apply. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a sword right here. So if you go through the tile sets, there's this. Okay. And all it is change weapons, increase one sword. Okay. And now I need to have the switch basically make the sword disappear. Whoops. So A will turn on, new event page, self switch A is on, apply. I'm going to name this sword at the top, apply. Okay. There's the sword. I'll pick it up. It'll add the sword to my inventory. The image will disappear because it self switches to A. Let's try it and see if I did it right. I'm going to walk up to him first to see if it works, because if Therese is not in my party, and I think that's Therese, so you can see the puppy running around already, which is pretty funny. Can you and your friends help me? Sure. Go find your friends. So it's not activating because it's the conditional branch is checking to see if Therese is in my party, and she's not. So there's the sword. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. Boom, got it. See how it disappears? I think this is Therese. Therese joins. There's Steven. I can do this side quest. Where'd that puppy go? I see him. See, the funny thing about this puppy moving is he could be behind a house that you don't even see. Here you go. Cool. And he's just chilling. Okay, so I went, I picked it up, I come back. You rock! And that's it. It didn't say you received one shield or whatever, so that's what you would want to do, but for time's sake, I just went through that real quick. So I have it, and I'll show you how to do one more real quick. And so conditional branches are good to make sure if you want, and this doesn't even have to be side quests, this can be main parts of your game, where if a certain character is not in your game, or maybe they haven't done up to this point where the locked door has been open, the new event is not going to activate. So it's going to check to see, and just like we did with these, Steven has to be in your party before you can do this. You're going to get to a point in your game where all of these are going to be full. And so all you have to do to prevent people from doing things before you want them to is just make it based on a switch. If that switch is not on, this can't happen yet. Or this person's not in the party, or this person doesn't have the right class or the skill or anything. So there's a million things that you can do. This person needs to have this special hat before you can go in, something like that. So maybe they can't enter a certain building unless they have a certain hat on, or they can't progress without a certain amount of gold or something like that. So you can use conditional branches, and you're going to use them pretty much your entire game. Make sure you click the create else branch to create what happens if the person does not have this. If you're finding that you're messing up a lot, you might not be creating the else branch, or you might be putting in a self switch or a switch when you shouldn't be, so that it's asking someone, hey, can you help me? Sure thing, I'll help you. And then the self switch turns on, and the conditional branch was on the other page, and now you can talk to this character, and it's not checking whether or not you have that item, and then the whole thing is ruined. So use this to progress your game and to keep people from going too fast is what I use it for mainly.